We're going to start with someone very familiar to the Greek calls, John Brakey. John has been absolutely essential to the fighting off the fake recount in Arizona, has pioneered the ballot imaging dimension to our elections, and has really broken incredibly important ground in terms of reliable recounts and audits. So without further ado, John Brakey, you are an indispensable man, and we want to hear from you, please. We'll be followed by Jan Goodman, who's going to give us a rundown on the biggest alternative radio network in the United States and what we really need to do to protect alternative media. Okay, John Brakey, if you'll take it away, please.
Thank you, Harvey. My name is John Brakey, and I am the Director of AUDIT Elections USA, a national election transparency organization. I am happy to spend this time discussing the serious problems in our country regarding elections. AUDIT USA is formerly AUDIT AZ and has been working on the front lines of elections for some 18 years. I was 49 when I co-founded AUDIT, and I am now 67, and I'm committed to giving 100% till 2025. We still follow Margaret Mead's philosophy that a few small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Our nation is at a crisis. Over 50 million Americans believe that the 2020 presidential election was stolen, and 64% of all Americans believe that the US democracy is in a crisis and at risk of failing. To strengthen our troubled democracy, we need elections that everyone can believe in. Ben Franklin said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." After 18 years on the front lines of elections, I have learned from experience that we must work proactively, not reactively. We are confident that we have the answers to increase confidence in election results. The problems may be complicated, but the solutions are simple. For those of you who know me, you have often heard me say that we need elections that are transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. And this is more true now more than ever. Transparency means that counting the votes is an observable public process. Trackable means good audits. Publicly verified means that those who doubt the outcome of an election can verify the results for themselves. This is all possible through ballot images, which are produced by digital voting machines that make up to 97% of the voting machines in the US. For those of you who aren't familiar with ballot images, the digital voting machines take a picture of a digital image of every ballot and count the votes from the images, not from the paper ballot itself. It has happened that when losing candidates take and can see ballot images like they do in the state of Maryland, they generally don't ask for a recount because looking at the images prove to them that what actually happened in their election. Ballot images are able to show candidates and their supporters that they actually lost or won. If ballot images had been publicly available nationwide in the 2020 election, it would have brought the Stop the Steal movement and its grifters to a screeching halt, and we wouldn't be experiencing the current crisis in confidence in our elections. Ballot images are a huge part of the solution to transparent, trackable, and publicly verified elections. But the problem is that many states are destroying the images, and in other states are preserving the images, but not making them available to the public. So this is our fight. We have been beating this drum since 2007. People are finally beginning to understand how important ballot images are. This is a nonpartisan issue, but whichever political party initiates saving ballot images in a state, the other party seems to oppose it. For example, the Republican-controlled legislature in the state of Georgia recently passed a law that ballot images are public records and must be preserved. But in Florida, the Democrats want ballot images to be preserved, and the Republicans are opposing it. In Florida, My organization, Audit USA, is funding a lawsuit against the state's largest county, Miami-Dade County, to force them to follow state and federal laws by saving ballot images, which are currently being destroyed. The plaintiffs are the Florida Democratic Party and 5 Democratic state legislators. It's a fantastic lawsuit, and I can't wait to share it with everyone as soon as it's filed this coming Tuesday. In Arizona, the state is saving ballot images thanks to a lawsuit that we at Audit filed back in 2016. We are now back in court to make those ballot images a public record so that the public can verify elections for themselves. We have fantastic attorneys in Florida and Arizona, and we're very excited about both lawsuits. Also in Arizona, the Republican-controlled state Senate is backing legislation to make ballot images public records, which I presented to them together with my good friend, the Republican ally, Ken Bennett, former Arizona Secretary of State and former president of the Arizona State Senate. Ken and I have shown that it's possible to disagree about political agendas, but work closely together in a nonpartisan way to make our elections transparent and trackable and publicly verified. Other concepts that is finally being understood by more people, which we have also been talking about for years, is to validate the ballot images by being able to compare them to the paper ballots themselves. I can't fully explain this in 5 minutes. However, it involves stamping a random number on each paper ballot as it is digitally scanned. The random number also shows up on the ballot image, and all early and vote by mail ballots. So the images and the ballots are married together, creating a ballot library so that everyone can compare the selected ballot image against the paper ballot to verify that the elections are real. We invite you to join our effort. Thank you.
John, thank you so much for that. Put your contacts in the chat. You are regular on our group calls, and your work is just absolutely spectacular. Without you, we would still be fighting over Arizona. And if you can do something about Kirsten Cinema out there, auditing or recounting or whatever, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Actually, they're talking about a recall in Arizona, a very interesting concept. So, John, you'll be with us on Monday, I hope, and a week from tomorrow to continue these reports. We're going to want to know about your lawsuits. And in fact, we have crossed over from the hour. We have one more guest, the great Jan Goodman, and then we're going to stick with it, and we'll finally be able to